What is happening, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome in. Hope it is a good day for you guys out there today. We got something good we're going to talk about today, something kind of interesting. This is going to be my first actually new and improved YouTube live. So I'm hoping everything runs smoothly and copacetic. All right. So if anything is coming up weird or something like that, let me know. All right, that way we can adjust the settings and stuff like that. Let us know in the comment section. But first, make sure you guys are subscribing to the YouTube channel. It's real important. If you guys could help us subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, tap a like if you can, because again, we're starting this thing off. This is going to be new, and I want to try to use YouTube to get this message across, while so many of you guys right now are utilizing this as your choice to go ahead and, get your content and stuff like that. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys could, my name is Trip. I want to say hello. Welcome in. This is one of our first streams here. But, I want to try to do something a little bit different here. That way we can show people what we're seeing in real time. And what I'm seeing in real time is kind of bananery, if you say so myself. It's really weird, and I don't necessarily think that a lot of you guys, specifically if you're in the Pacific Northwest, are seeing some of these things. Maybe you're not seeing these things, and if you are, then maybe you're choosing to not react. And that's something that I'm going to talk about tonight, because I have some wild information that I've been stumbling upon and looking into. And I think that you guys are going to be kind of interested in this too, because this pertains to you if you're a Christian like myself. Like if you're a Christian, this pertains to you. If you're not a Christian and you're an American citizen, then this pertains to you too, because there's a lot of influence and things that are going on right now in real time in our country that I believe that we need to speak about. And if you guys are just tuning in or whatnot, come on, drop a comment, hit the like button, subscribe. This is one of our very first lives. But I wanted to talk to you guys tonight about something I've stumbled upon and I've been investigating here the past couple of weeks. And this information is pretty daunting, and it's quite concerning to me. It should be concerning to you too. If, like I said, if you're a Christian, it should be concerning, because these are real things that are happening, and very few people, at least as far as I've seen, have been speaking on this. And that's kind of concerning. So we're going to walk through what we're seeing with this investigation that I'm looking into, and you guys can continue to help me out. If you guys are privy to any information like this, let us know, because I want to continue to build off of this. This is just not my perspective or something. It's not just my opinion and point of view that is the end all be all. This is real life stuff that is happening, and I think that you guys should be brought up to date on this stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of do things like this, because one of my favorite creators now is Baron Coleman. And if you guys are on YouTube, you guys, I'm sure you've heard of Baron Coleman, Candace Owens, and a few others. But Baron Coleman and Candace and even Zach Costello now have stumbled upon something that I believe is very, very interesting. And I think more of the mainstream should be talking about this. And the only way I believe that we can get a mainstream narrative out there is if we actually get you guys, the audience, the people, the American people, up to speed and speak on these things. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of an opening statement to what we're talking about, and we're going to dive right in. All right, we're going to dive right in. What's up, Tyler? Good to see you guys. Okay, so welcome in. Again, my name is Trip. Be sure you guys hit that subscribe button. This is a newer thing we're going to try to do. We're trying to build this channel up. So I want you guys to help us out. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, share this with your friends. Share this with all your people that are interested in truth. If you're interested in truth, then this is going to be for you. Okay, so what we're going to talk about tonight is the October 7th experience. And this is probably not what you guys are thinking in the terms of October 7th. Okay, so I'm sure a lot of you guys are thinking back to a couple of years ago, October 7th, and what happened. And we're going to dive into a little bit about that, but we're talking about the future and currently right now. Okay, so this is going to be about foreign influence, church geo-fencing, information warfare, national sovereignty, and of course, Christian discernment. So that's what we're going to be talking about on this live here. So again, last time I'm going to say it real before we move on, but if you guys have not already, be sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit the like, all that good stuff, because I want to try to build this up as we get into it. And I am going to bring up those graphics and stuff and like that for you guys to see as we move along. Again, let's dive right into it. So, family, friends, children, boys, girls of all ages, come one, come all. Tonight, we're going to talk about something that makes a lot of people a little bit uncomfortable. And if it does make you uncomfortable, I have to say, well, that's kind of good. If you ask me. I mean, if you ask me, that's good. Because truth usually does make people uncomfortable. That's the reality. Truth does make people uncomfortable. Oh, shoot. My camera's moving on me. Let me try to stop it there. Stay put. You too. Dang cameras. I'm still learning, okay? I do one and the other one wants to do something. Okay, now they're set. Okay, they're good. Looks like they're good. Looks like they're good. Keep, okay, you guys know what to, oh, no. It did something. Stay still. Okay, I gotta keep my hands still. Maybe that'll help. Okay, so we're live, you guys. Let's try this out. I'm learning, all right? It's all new technology. So truth usually does make people very, very uncomfortable. And if you know anything about me, you know I'm going to tell you how it is before I tell you what you want to hear. All right, I'm going to tell you what you need to hear before I tell you what you want to hear. And that's because I am a prospect and only want to stand on truth. So, ladies and gentlemen, tonight, what we're talking about is not about attacking the Jewish people. It's not about attacking Christians. It's not even about attacking Hamas or any of those people. None of that. Okay? Terrorism is evil, period. So murdering innocent civilians, whether they're Hamas, whether they're Christian, whether they're Jewish, whether, murdering any innocent civilian is not okay. Specifically, if you're a Christian, you cannot go along with murdering innocent people, period. Period. That's the reality. And that's what we're going to get into somewhat and what is actually happening right here in the United States. Terrorism is evil. Murdering is evil. Kidnapping innocent civilians and people is evil. Period. But tonight, I'm going to talk to you guys about whether you believe foreign government connected influences and operations should be targeting American churches, pastors, Christian communities, and of course, our public opinion. And they're doing this through a psychological message and campaigns. They're using digital persuasion, and I'm going to bring up specifically because I had the files, I got the documents, I found their actual FARA document filings. So anybody out there want to say, no, you're just blowing smoke? No, I got the records, and I'm going to bring them up here for you guys to see. Okay? Because when a foreign country is using psychological messaging campaigns to influence things here in America to benefit that country, I believe we have a national security issue. I could be wrong, but I believe that this is a national security concern, and I need your help to tell me whether or not I'm on the right track. Because Baron Coleman's seeing this, Candace is seeing this, Zach Costello is seeing this, Ian Carroll's seeing this. So a lot of people are seeing this right now, or a few people are seeing this right now, but a lot of people are not talking about it. So we're going to dive into it tonight, and we're going to go all the way into it. Okay, we're going all the way into it. All right, because tonight what we're going to talk about is bigger than just Israel itself. It's about perception. It's bigger than Palestine. It's bigger than just the Republicans and Democrats, okay? It's bigger than just liberals versus conservative. It's a lot bigger than your social media outrage. And, of course, it's bigger than just one war. These are the facts. So I'm going to lay down a list of things that we're going to discuss here tonight as we do this live. We're going to be talking about influence, psychological warfare, narrative control, emotional manipulation, digital persuasion, information warfare, sovereignty, propaganda systems, and of course, the battle for the human mind. These are things most people don't necessarily think about in 2026. The battle for the human mind. Because that is really what we're dealing with right now. Most people have no idea, and we're standing right in the middle of it. That's you too, myself included. We're standing right in the middle of it, and a lot of people have no idea. All right. Everybody keeps asking, and I mean, you could tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. But everybody keeps asking, why are things so tense right now? Why are things so tough? Why does society constantly feel emotionally overwhelming? Families are feeling exhausted. Why does every week feel like another crisis? Well, because it is. That's because it is. That's the reality. Every week we have some kind of new crisis. Every single headline is filled with emotional submission. So why does everybody feel psychologically overwhelmed? Because the truth is, tension is power. Okay, fear is power. This is something that is absolutely true. Tension is power. Fear is power. And a population under stress is easy to influence. A population under stress is very easy to influence. That's not conspiracy theory. That's history. Governments understand this. Corporations understand this. Political strategists understand this. The military understands this. All the advertising companies understand this. The media understands this. And now churches are standing directly in the middle of the battlefield, and that should be concerning everybody. Because I'm going to expose publicly documented influence campaigns right here involving churches. Church targeting, geo-fencing, digital behavior advertising. We're going to go through the list. This stuff isn't hidden. It's documented. And like I said, we're going to pull up these public filings. So I want to ask you guys again, should foreign government-connected campaigns be targeting American churches? I truly want to know. If you guys are going to leave a comment or anything, I would love to know. I would love to know. Oh, maybe I got to change the settings to all. Yeah, there we go. Moderation, all, live chat, live memory, anyone, none. Okay. I think I got it. I think I got the settings here. Like I said, I'm new to this, so let's see. Let's see if that works. Boom. The first one in there. Hi. I'm still learning. Okay. So, all right, let's get back to it. I'm gonna quit goofing around. Okay. Anyway, so tonight I'm going to ask you guys again, should foreign countries have any shape or influences over the psychological influence and mindset of Americans? Because that's kind of important. Like, I don't understand what kind of individuals would be out there thinking it's okay to just let other countries do so as long as they just register. It's okay. Just go ahead and influence us. Do whatever you want, and we'll just continue to be good going. I don't get it. I don't get it personally. I don't think you get it personally. I mean, we shouldn't. If you do get it, then I think you're part of the problem. So what was I talking about anyways? The legitimate question. This is not about, again, this is not about hatred. This is not about anti-Semitism. I'm not denying October 7th. I'm not even supporting terrorism. I'm not supporting Hamas. I'm just asking questions so we can get some transparency and, of course, some discernment. Because the reality is tragedy does not eliminate just because we ask serious questions about the propaganda. But we need to still ask those questions. That's what's important. We have to ask those questions. If we're not asking those questions, we're just going to allow this behavior to persist. And I think that should concern every single American, every single Christian, every single doctor, every single brother, cousin, pastor. It doesn't matter. That should concern you when other countries are coming in with a plan to manipulate Americans' minds. I don't see how people don't get upset about that. I don't get it. And this, like I said, it's not conspiracy theory, because they're specifically targeting churches. Okay? They're specifically targeting churches, Christian churches in the United States, to facilitate their plan. Okay? They want to use algorithms. They want to use emotional warfare, targeting ads. These are real things. But war is not just fought on the battlefield in 2026. It's not. You guys got to get that out of your head. Like, we are at war. I don't care what anybody says. We are at war. And this is not just a soldier for soldier on the front lines type of war. This is real war. This is psychological, spiritual. They're using algorithms. They're using our phones, paid influencers. We know this. They're using paid influencers to go ahead and promote propaganda that we know is paid influence propaganda, and we still allow it to happen. We know this. Every week it's a new thing. But when they're telling you that they are going to pay people to actively push a message on Americans, that should make everybody stop and pause. It should make every single person stop and pause, because there is no reason at all that we're allowing any foreign country to be manipulating churches in the minds of American individuals. Period. But the actual battlefield that we are going through today in 2026 is algorithms. It is phones. It is influencers. It is in the church. And I don't care if that hurts your feelings. That's the truth. So again, if you guys are just tuning in, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, please. We're trying to build this channel up. This is new, something I'm trying to do and get the truth out there along with the other truth tellers out there. My name is Trip. If you guys did not know, I'm your host. My name is Trip. If you guys do know who I am, what's up, guys? Good to see you. We got the live chat up and running, so if you guys want to say hey, you can. You're welcome to. But that is up and going right there, so good to see you guys. Nope. But at the end of the day, we have real life individuals that are here in the United States of America that are being influenced by a paid campaign. And the reality is, we're paying for it. That's going to upset you too. We're paying for it. So Americans are financially drowning in their own home. Meanwhile, we're paying for another country to influence us. I need you to set that in your minds. Not just Israel, it's China too, it's Russia, it's all the other countries, but the reality is there's a bigger campaign going on currently, and they're trying to specifically infiltrate the church, and that should concern everybody. Everybody. And like I said, I'm going to bring it up here for you guys to see. Americans are drowning financially. I live in Washington State, so families here are struggling not just with the inflation, but the local fuel costs, the taxes, housing taxes, housing pressure, nonstop chaos, stress, junkies in the street. They're saving sexual predators. They are saving sexual predators and allowing them to get less of a sentence, while regular individuals here who are doing the right thing are cast out to the side. That is the truth. So if you're in Washington State, you guys can advocate for yourselves and let me know in the comment section. But the truth is, we are not being represented. The truth is, we're paying more. We are paying more and receiving less. We are paying more and receiving less. So I got to tell you guys this. If you rely on the system, you're going to get system results. Point blank, period. If you rely on the system, you're going to get system results. And the system has not been providing good enough results for me to want to rely on the system. Let that sink in. I'm going to say it one more time real slow, so in case y'all didn't hear it if you're just tuning in. If you solely rely on the system, you're going to get system results. And the system has not provided any good results. That's the truth. Oh, you ain't got to be mad at me, but that is the truth. That is the truth. We can argue semantics, left versus right. It's just the Democrats this. It's the Republicans' fault that. It's because the liberals feel this way. It's because the conservatives feel that way. Blah, 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 blah. All those labels, instant isms don't do anything but keep you distracted from what's actually happening. And when it happens in front of you, the majority of people are going to deny it because it's not a part of their little inner circle. Tell me I'm wrong. This isn't to call you out, but it's to also encourage you to open your eyes to what is happening in front of you and be strong enough to question it when it feels wrong. Because if it's true, no matter how good, no matter how bad, if it's true and you expose it, you don't have to worry about anything. Whatever result happens after exposing the truth is supposed to happen, whether good or bad. Because at the end of the day, I don't have to worry because I don't have to worry at all as long as I'm sharing truth. If it stands in truth, I don't have to worry, and neither do you. So instead of trying to defend somebody else's narrative, I encourage you to research, find the truth for yourself, and advocate for yourself, because the system is not advocating for you. It's not. It's not. The only people benefiting from this are a very special interest group in one specific nation right now, which is not the United States. That's true. And the whole world sees it. I don't care what anybody, the whole world sees it. Everybody's saying it and everybody sees it and everybody wants to duck their head because they're being afraid of being called an ist or an ism. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. But unless I said something wrong, I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's just, I call it how I see it. I call it how I see it. Okay? Again, we cannot allow this to happen because whoever controls the perception controls the direction. And whoever controls the emotional direction controls the behavior. Well, the churches have a great tie into that specifically. So why wouldn't you infiltrate the church if you were a foreign agent? Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we're going to discuss here tonight. Okay? Because we cannot blindly trust any narratives. We're going to go deep. We're going to dig into geo-fencing. We're even going to dig into FARA. What is FARA? And I want to remind other Christians and other people out there that Jesus has already overcome this world. So we need not worry. We have to continue fighting for truth and standing on truth regardless of who says what about us to us, because if it's true and you say the truth, then it was supposed to happen, period. You don't have to worry about what they say or what they think. If it's true, you're going to be fine because Christ is truth, Christ is king, and truth matters. Nobody is immune to propaganda once they stop questioning narratives. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was your opening statement. What y'all think? A little rough around the edges. We gonna get there. We're gonna get there. We're still working on it. Still working on it. Good to see you guys. Happy. What is it? Thursday now, huh? It's already Thursday. So, all right, let's just get into this. We're going to keep it rolling here so I don't keep you guys bored or nothing like that. Think for yourself. Absolutely. You have to think for yourself. And that's the thing. If you're only told by a specific group how you're supposed to think, you never had any actual individual thoughts. You never did. So let's talk about this real quick. What is the October 7th experience? Okay. Because I'm sure some of you guys have heard of that, or you're going to be hearing about this coming up, especially if you're in certain churches and stuff like that. You're going to be hearing about this thing. It's called the October 7th Experience, and it's described as a traveling exhibit connected to a campaign called Show by Faith Works. Okay. You love that flag? Yeah, that's the logo, man. You know, that's the logo. Got the logo out there. Got to represent. You know what I'm saying? Got to represent. So, let's get into this. According to the public reporting and the FARA filings, that's FARA filings, the campaign included mobile exhibits, VR experiences, emotional survivor narratives, Israeli military perspectives, influencer outreach, church outreach, Christian college outreach, digital targeting, and geo-fencing campaigns. Now, what does that mean? This campaign started, this campaign's stated purpose was increasing support for Israel among Christian audience in the United States. Now, I need you guys to pause and think about that for a second, okay? The campaign stated that its purpose is to get increasing support for Israel amongst Christian audiences in the United States. Okay? Supporting Israel voluntarily because your belief, that's one thing. But being coerced to do so is a whole nother thing. All right, so a foreign government connected campaign is targeting United States churches and tracking their behavior to influence them in support of Israel. That is true, and this is documented in the FARA registration, in the FARA filing, okay? This is their campaign by Show Faith Works, okay? It's called Show Faith Works. You guys can look this up. Google it right now. If you don't believe me, Google it. It's the campaign by Show Faith Works. And they are trying to get increasing support for Israel amongst Christian audiences in the United States. All right, this distinction matters because I believe that this could be a national security issue, regardless of your support for our greatest ally or not. Okay? Whether you guys want to or not. This is not an internet rumor. This is public federal filing. And I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you because if I don't show you the truth, you guys are going to say it's all hearsay. And I don't blame you. I would say it too. I would say so too. But the reality is that these are real things filed by the federal government, and then you guys can look this stuff up. You guys can research this. You guys can look it up. It's all publicly available. All right, so while that document gets loaded up, I'm going to explain to you what it means, okay? What FARA means, first and foremost, is the Foreign Agents Registration Act, FARA, Foreign Agents Registration Acts, okay? Now, this company is specifically designed was designed on behalf of a foreign government to influence public opinion outside of the United States, okay? So federal law says if they're going to do so, then they have to disclose it in the in the Foreign Agents Registration Act. All right. They're saying that if you're going to be working toward a campaign to have Americans support your country, you have to register in the FARA documentation, okay? Because transparency matters. That was the kicker. That was the kicker. All right. So what FARA says is that if a foreign country is going to do so, they have to register. Okay. Now, this current ally has only, if I'm not mistaken, only recently registered within FARA anyways, which is still kind of concerning, but we'll get into that later. I'm actually going to show you guys right here. I'm going to bring up here on the other screen because I want you guys to see the truth. Boom. Here is the document right here. Exhibit A. Exhibit A. Exhibit A, registration statement pursuant to Foreign Agents Registration Act of 1938 as amended. Look at that right there, you guys. So this is real. Okay. And as you guys can see, Show Faith Works right here is the documented registrant. Okay. Now, you guys, I'm telling you right now, you guys can look up this information yourselves. All right, you only have to sign in and know what you're looking for. But as far as this is concerned, this is real. All right, now here's the name of the principal, the foreign principal here. Israel, Ministry of Foreign Affairs. There's their mailing address in case you guys want to send them a letter and tell them how you feel. You said they don't have to register at all? Our greatest ally right now technically does not have to register? What? I thought they were required to register at this point. Oh no. Is that true? So right now, our greatest ally does not have to register. According to Becca here in the chat says right now they don't have to register at all. That's wild. I thought there was something recently that was done that they were required to register. Well, either way, the fact remains, I'm not making this up. Baron Coleman's not making this up. Candace isn't making this up. Ian Carroll's not making this up. None of us are making this up. That's the facts. Whether they have to register or not, at least you guys can see here that I'm not lying. We're not lying. And it's right here. The recipient, Show Faith Works, LLC. You guys can look that up right there. Show Faith Works, LLC. All right. And then, of course, the name of the foreign principal, Israel Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this should concern you because why are they working so hard to influence the churches here in the United States of America? Why? The country represented is Israel, as you guys see right here. Again, I'm not trying to pick on them. I'm just saying that this is their plan. Okay, I'm not making this up. I'm not trying to pick on them, but this is their plan. Indicate whether the foreign principle is one of the following: government or foreign country. Government or foreign country. Okay, and this was received on September the 27th, 2025. So this has been in the works for a few months, you guys, for a little while now. This isn't like this is old news. This has been in the works for a little bit. You said check the messages. Let's see. All right, Becca sent me a message here that says here, no, Israel as a country does not register as a foreign agent, but under the FARA Act, individuals or group in the U.S. lobbying on behalf can be required by the Department of Justice. Huh. Wow. Wait a minute now. So the country itself is not required to. However, if an American company like Show Faith Works is going to be doing so on behalf of this foreign country, they have to register. However, if our greatest ally themselves were to do this campaign, they would not have to register. They could just do it. So we don't even know what the heck they could be doing without the registration. That's wild. That's wild. Wait a minute now. That's crazy. Yep, she just sent me the screenshot. That is current. That's up to date. That's wild to me. And you know, you want to know what? Anyways. Before I get mad. Because it should make you mad too. But anyways, okay, so we know that this is on behalf of our greatest ally. Now, here's the kicker. All right. These individuals right here. Here we go. Look at this. Nine 26/2025, Chad J. Schnitker? Schnitker? I think that's how you say his name. Chad J. Schnitker. Yep, execution. Look at that. This is official documents from them. Well, The Israel Ministry of Foreign Affairs. This is crazy. Okay, so describe fully the nature and method of performance of the above indicated agreement and understanding. This is what they put. Christian outreach through various grassroots and digital targeting of Christians in the Western U.S. We will create a mobile museum to display at churches, Christian colleges, and Christian events. We will target and distribute pro-Israel information online and through targeting, geo-fencing, and digital online tools. We will have teams and people reaching out to churches and pastors and possibly even Christian social media influencers. Some of this still undecided and fluid, but these are the outlets we have planned and proposed. Wow. Wow. And you guys can see it here, right here. Describe the nature and method. They're going to be like, we will create a mobile museum to display at Christian churches, Christian colleges, and Christian events. This is, again, ladies and gentlemen, the October 7th experience that I brought up in the beginning. Okay? This is insane. All in support of our supposed greatest ally. Wow. Okay, so will activities on behalf of the above foreign principle include political activities as defined in Section 1 of the Act? Yes, they say yes. If yes, describe all such political activities indicating, among other things, the relations, interests, and policies, influences, blah, 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 blah. This response must include, but not be limited to, activities involving lobbying, promotion, perception management, public relations, economic development, and preparation and dissemination of information materials. They wrote, encouraging Christians to have a more favorable view of the nation of Israel, and to encourage Christians to visit Israel for tourism purposes. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. You said gotta scroll? Oh, gotta roll. Thanks for stopping by, buddy. Thank you so much. We're going to try to do this here more so you guys can be a part of the, the thing. But yeah, this is real, you guys. And I know it's not for everybody. I know it's not. I know it's not for everybody. I get it. I don't like it necessarily myself. Okay? I don't. I don't think any foreign interest should be, infiltrating our churches, but that's just my personal opinion. So we go into, during the period beginning 60 days prior to the obligation to register, has the registrant received from the foreign principal or any other source of interest of the foreign principal any contributions, income, money, or thing of value, either as compensation or disbursement or otherwise? They answer yes on the 18th of September 2025 from Havas Media. And the purpose was Christian outreach in the U.S. And they gave them, $325,000. Damn! Just to get Christian outreach in the U.S.? This is crazy. Havas Media. Wow. General operating expenses and payroll, $66,000. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is all available to you guys right now. All you have to do is look it up. You guys are going to be able to see these documents and go through them yourself, piece by piece, and see who is on there. Okay, these things are being done. The FARA registration unit. Okay, these things are being done on our greatest allies' behalf. Okay, And if I didn't bring up the information here for you guys to see, of course, you guys could say that I'm making this up or I'm coming from an antiseptic position or I'm just picking on them or whatnot. No, this is just the issue that was brought to me. And when it comes to shaping and molding public perception, I have to question that. I have to question the process, and I have to question, who does this benefit from? Okay? Who does this benefit? Because this does not benefit the United States. It doesn't. It doesn't. Ooh, look at their whole estimated cost right here. Greystone HR staff, grassroots staff, equipment, media budget, looking at $3.2 million is the requested budget. That's the requested budget with additional expendages of $835,000. And this is specifically, it tells you what states that they're going to be targeting first. Okay? They're telling you specifically what states they're targeting first. Experience the trailer and staffing, so they're going to be doing resource packages here to Utah. $25,000 in resource packages to Utah. $10,000 in additional resource packages for pastors in Wyoming. A pastoral resource package in Texas valued at $250,000, ladies and gentlemen. This is, of course, all real. And of course, and they break down their entire expenditures for each individual person, as you can see here. You're going to be able to see specifically who's getting paid to influence us here as Christians. Okay? So these are the top dogs that are getting paid to do so. Starting with their project manager, Chad. I think, yeah, that's his name, Chad. He manages all 3 teams, and he gets a $150,000 salary. He manages 3 teams in 6 states, coordinates with marketing digital teams and the Israeli consulate. He's getting paid $150,000 to coordinate and do that. Okay? This is wild, you guys. This is absolutely wild. And and these salaries aren't they're not the greatest. They're really not the greatest. But if you're youth pastor, look at this, Riverside youth pastor, $35,000. Assist pastoral lead to generate content and prepare it, be recorded in diverse series of guest pastors who record simultaneous messages in multiple languages for different church populations. Wow. So they're going to be doing, this is a real infiltrated, coordinated event. And our government is just allowing it to happen. Okay. So this covers the green, if you guys didn't see, the green covers the Riverside HQ, their headquarters staff. Then their little media team is here in orange. Okay. And then after you get out of the media team, it breaks it down into the regions. So the Western region here, Western regions, California, Nevada, and the Arizona team. Okay. And they're just for the California, let's see. Oops. No, that's not it. What am I doing here? So for the California, the Western region, the California, Nevada, and Arizona team, you guys can see here, $618,000 is being pushed towards the West. $618,000 going towards propaganda in the West. That's real. I know. This isn't the most exciting or sexiest thing to see. I know it's not. I know it's, for a lot of people, it's probably boring, right? Because why should we care? Well, if you're a Christian and you hear of a foreign nation that specifically does not necessarily like Christians is coming here to infiltrate and target Christian groups to make them like them, that's very concerning to me. And if it's not concerning to you, I don't know what the heck you're doing. I really don't. I really don't. I mean, they're purchasing trailers, 10x7 trailers, fifth wheel capacity towing. Like, they're going all out. They are going all out on this. I have never seen such a thing like this. And the reality is, ladies and gentlemen, is that we're allowing this to happen. Again, you guys can get each of their information, where they're going to be getting the building from, where they're going to get the Super Duty from, the Ford Pro Super Duty, how much it's going to cost them. I mean, everything is broken down. So, like, they have a really good detailed, good expense report, it looks like. I mean, they're telling you specifically what they're doing. The fact that we're allowing it should alarm and concern everybody, but, you know, that's neither here nor there. Targeting geofencing. All right, let's get into this right here, because I think this is what's really concerning, because you guys will be a part of this and you won't even realize it. So the geofencing, largest geofencing and targeted Christian digital campaign ever. Geofence the actual boundaries of every major church in California, Arizona, Nevada, and Colorado, and all Christian colleges during worship times. Track attendees and continue to target with ads. What? What? The largest geofencing and targeted Christian digital campaign ever. Geofence the actual boundaries of every major church in California, Arizona, Nevada, and Colorado, and all Christian colleges during worship times. They're going to track attendees and continue to target with ads. Wow. Then it goes into their follow-up target. Follow-up targeting right here. Geofence our own events and other Christian events. Continue to target Christians with effective ads and calls to action. Social media advertising, created and collated social media, distribute through our social media channels and to targeted Christians. Website development. Websites update security to prevent attacks. Constant consent uploads and web data hosting on all on-call maintenance. Wow. Redirect nearly all web traffic to friendly sites based on key terms and ensure the website is at the top of all search results. Prioritize our information key demographics. This is insane, you guys. This is insane. They're going to do a custom 30-foot by 40-foot, 10,000-pound steel street legal custom trailer designed by Hollywood set artists to create Christian endorsements and events within Christian athletes and celebrities. Swag handouts. Do you guys see this? Are you guys paying attention to what's actually going on here? If I don't understand why people would want this to happen when the United States is falling apart. I really don't get it. It's really quite concerning to me, and it should be concerning to most of you guys too, because, you know, our own country, the founding fathers would, I don't know what you're talking about, just here supporting you. Okay, so what I'm talking about is a foreign country is trying to target American Christian churches to make them support their country and not our own, to support their war, etc., to support their genocide, to support giving them weapons and materials, etc., even though Christians don't follow through with genocide and believe in things to that nature. So what I'm bringing up is, because this is a foreign country doing so in the United States, that this is a national security issue. Because the one place you should feel safe is at church. And if you go to church and a foreign country is telling you that you're wrong and this is how you should believe, that is a problem. And I'm trying to educate people so when they see that this is happening, they can speak up or they know what to look for. I'm also going to be sharing how they're going to be using your phone, your data, to track you. Okay? I mean, and they have it literally down, every single church that they're going to be targeting. The church name, what city, what state, and what size. Scottsdale Bible Church, 6,234 members. I'm assuming the size is the congregation size. I'm assuming. So every big church they're coming for. And they're going to try to re-educate Christians to support an Israeli belief. That's what's happening. Okay? And you can see that right here. This is what they're telling you. So I'm not making this stuff up. This is what this country, our greatest ally, is telling us that they're working towards doing. And these are the churches that they're doing so. The whole list. So if you, and I encourage you guys to share this and let people know, because if your church falls on this, you're going to be geo-tracked. You're going to be geo-fenced and tracked. They've already registered and signed off on it, and it's allowed. California, here we go, all the churches in California that are being targeted. Every single one of these churches will be targeted. This is insane, you guys. I mean, and they're telling you specifically how many Christians they're trying to target. This is wild. And what they're telling you is that there's going to be an October 7th experience. So we have to remember what happened on October 7th. Okay, if we're really going to talk about this, we need to get back to what happened on October 7th. Okay, or why even target the churches? Okay, it's not just a political conference or something like that. They could do that, right? Because churches represent the foundation of trust. Churches represent the foundation of emotional authority. What else does church represent? Moral legitimacy, identity, community influence. Can you guys still hear me okay? Because I'm about to take these headphones off. Can you still hear me good? Okay. Community influence. Psychology, counseling, rehab, all of these things that you can get from the church. So these people are specifically targeting those churches that I just showed you on the screen. That should concern every single one of you. Not just me. Not just Christians. It should concern every single American. It should concern every single person that is in the United States, because this is our home. So why would I want another country telling me how I'm supposed to believe when it comes to my faith, when their belief specifically goes against my belief? Why would I allow our greatest ally to do so in the United States? And I just showed you a long list of churches that are going to be targeted, that are targeted by this company, Show Faith Works. So this, to me, is a national security issue, ladies and gentlemen. It really is. I believe it's a national security issue. I believe that we need to band together and stop this from happening. If you're in one of those cities or churches, I believe that you guys have options, and you should be talking to your church, asking your church these questions, and asking them if they're going to stick to the foundation of Jesus Christ or what our greatest ally is telling them. Because if you don't and just accept it, you are part of the problem. That's the fact. All right. They're using geo-fencing technology to do so. So maybe you guys don't even know what geo-fencing is. What is geo-fencing, right? Like, honestly, what is geo-fencing? It's digital location-based targeting. So they're going to follow you through your location on your devices when you're at service and whatnot, and they're specifically going to target you with ads while you're in service. All right, they're doing an imaginary line around like the city maps or whatnot. It's like a little boundary. So whether you're at the church, school, courthouse, concert, anywhere, they're going to be tracking you, and they're going to target you with propaganda. Period. They're going to target you with propaganda. And it's not just our greatest ally that does this. All these companies that give ads do this. This company is specifically doing this on behalf of a foreign country. That's the issue that I'm trying to bring up with you guys. Okay? So it should concern you guys. It really should concern you guys. I mean, it does concern me, but there are real live things happening in our country, in the United States of America, in our cities, at our churches, that we should be asking the hard questions, and we should be demanding answers. All right, they're going to be tracking the attendees of the church, not just the pastor and the congregate, like the attendees. If you just show up for the first time, you've never been to this church before, and you just show up, guess what? You're being pinged, and now you're being tracked just for entering into that region. You don't even have to accept a like or a link or nothing like that. Just by entering this space, you are now targeted. That's what this is. In entering this invisible boundary, you are now being targeted without your permission. All right, so they're going to track the attendees and continue to target them with forced ads. All right, now I need you guys to stay grounded here and think with me for a second while I take this sip of coffee. I'm not saying that there's spies physically following you around, because we don't need to do that anymore. We have geo-fencing and data centers and stuff. We don't need to do that anymore. You guys we all carry this little GPS tracker with us everywhere we go. All right. But what they are going to be able to do is start tailoring specific ads toward you to mold your mind. Remember, I told you this is an emotional war just as much as it's a spiritual war, just as much as it's a physical war. And this country is not letting up. Our greatest ally is not letting up. So why should we? Why should we? This is the United States of America, last I checked, so why should we? That's what I really want to know. Why should we, when these things are happening, they're documented and we allow it to happen? That's what I really want to know. Because just because they registered under FARA doesn't mean that this is moral or ethical. Last I checked, if it was illegal, immoral, or unethical, we didn't mess with it. But this is definitely unethical. It's unmoral or immoral. I think that's the right word. Immoral, right? Immoral? Amoral? Immoral. It's not right, is what it is. Because one of the last foundations people have is their faith. And when you start to manipulate people's faith, I believe we have a serious concern for national security problems. This is where I believe the whole thing becomes bigger and clicks. Because foreign influence does not always have to arrive through force. It oftentimes arrives through the media, the influencers, advertising, money, lobbying. These are all things that we know to be consistently true and are trackable, and we verified these things. There's no question about that. All right, but this is a modern power projection because specifically targeting the churches in this way for a specific foreign influence changes the game. That changes everything. All right. And if you're just tuning in or just checking out, what we're talking about is the October 7th experience that Show Faith Works is using to manipulate the minds of Christians in America. And I want to continue talking on this for a little bit throughout the week and throughout the next few days, because I think this is probably one of the most important things for us to pay attention to as Americans right now, specifically Christian Americans. All right. If America and at the end of the day, America itself is in an influence under operations. Okay, there's influence operations going on all across from different countries all the time, but this one specifically is doing so to infiltrate the churches, and that is a big problem. Okay, so I asked you guys earlier, I want to ask this question again: should foreign government connected campaigns be targeting American churches and Christian communities to shape their public opinion and their political beliefs? Like, should we allow that? Because these are things where the American people can step up and say no more. We have to reach out to the correct representatives and senators to do so. But we have to ask these hard questions before we can even get there. Because America does not make decisions based on what this other country thinks is best. We have to make our decisions on the Constitution, on the truth, informed understanding, conscious, your moral gut, and most importantly, American interest. So I don't see how supporting blindly every way, shape, or form to our greatest ally is in the best interest of the United States. And I don't think any of you can either. Not at all. I can't see it. And I don't care if it's Israel, if it's China, if it's Russia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Ukraine. Any foreign government should not be infiltrating our churches with their special interest. And we should not allow it. Period. Any. But this specific ally of ours is doing so, and I've just showed you the list. I just showed you the list. Because the reality is, once Americans become psychologically dependent on foreign narratives, we're doomed. As soon as we become dependent on another foreign interest and narrative, we are doomed. If it's not in the United States' interest, we should not be messing with it. That is, of course, my opinion. I know there are a lot of people from other countries that live here now that want to support their country. I'm not dismissing that. But if doing so harms or limits American, we should be stopping it. And most importantly, Christians need to understand this, because you shouldn't just be turning the blind eye to keep the peace. We stand on truth. We stand on facts, and we wear the armor of God to continue pushing forward when nobody else will. Because the devil loves to thrive on a lie. And he has to work real hard to keep pushing that lie. But you don't have to work hard at all if what you're saying is true. Period. You don't have to work hard if what you're saying is true. So when they're using information warfare against American people, we have to understand what's really happening. Because they will shape the perception of Americans through church. And if that's only going to benefit that country, it is not good for the United States. Okay? Now, I know this was a little long-winded. It was a little first time go at this thing, but I'm going to get back into a live maybe tomorrow or another time in the future. And we're going to get into talking about a couple different things, starting with the strategy of tension. We're going to connect Washington state issues, the money that we have going on. I'm going to show you guys some pretty cool reports and stuff like that as we continue pushing forward. But right now, I want to at least start with this and show you guys some of what I'm seeing while I pulled up those documents for you guys to see. Again, you guys can look this up, okay, the FARA registration. You guys can look this up yourselves. I did not make this up. You're welcome to Google it, Okay. There are, in fact, a whole list of churches and cities that are targeted with this political and church like message to benefit our greatest ally and not the United States. This does expire. Their little agreement, their registration that they filled out does expire October 31st of 2026, just so you guys are aware. So when it comes that time, we're going to have to see if they're going to extend this, amend it, whatever they're going to do, continue going, and see what other changes there are, if there are any changes. But you guys can look this stuff up at www.fara.gov. All right. The registration number is 7653. You guys are able to look this up. Again, this is all available to you. It's all information that we have to have recorded right here at the Department of Justice. It's all real. I'm not making it up. I wish I was making this stuff up, you guys. I really do. Like, I really wish that this was just like hearsay and false, but this is a real life thing, and it really scares me. So again, the name of the foreign principal is Israel Ministry of Foreign Affairs, you guys, and this is what their current campaign looks like. So I encourage you guys to download the document yourself. It's 86 pages long. I think you guys should go through the document. I think you guys should see if your church, specifically if you're in one of the states that are on that list, I think you guys should, if you belong to one of those churches, I think that you guys should ask your pastors and your church congregation if we fall under this and what is the plan, because you can either sit back and allow it, or you can, you can either sit back and allow it and turn the blind eye, or you can actually step up. Yay, we'll see you tomorrow, Tyler. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in live, man. Keep up the great work. Thank you, guys. I want to try to do this more often, especially here on YouTube. This is I think it's really officially our first live on YouTube. So I want to try to build this up some of you guys. If you guys could, after we close this out, try to share the live out to some of your friends so they can catch what we've seen here. And if you guys are interested and have anything else that you want, send us an email. Okay, send us an email. Matter of fact, I'll put the email right here in the chat so you guys can know how to email us and what you want us to look into. I'll put the email in there. The best way is to put attention Becca, okay? And she will ensure that I get your emails and get you guys scheduled if you guys want to do an interview or something like that, okay? I'll put that in there for you guys to see. There's the email in the chat. I'm going to pin it there for you guys. Boom. So if you guys are interested in sending us an email, connecting with us or something like that, put that in. There it is for you guys. I'm downloading the documents right now, the entire 86-page document. I'm going to download it, and I'm going to go through it more in detail. And I'm probably going to post some pictures on the Blue platform, the FB page. I'll probably post it on there for you guys to see the individual document page by page. Not all 86 pages, but the ones that are important, I think, at least, so you guys can see. But again, I encourage you guys to download it yourselves, because this is publicly available information. And if I can find it and research it and find these things, I know you guys can too. All right. So with that being said, again, give this thing a like, subscribe to the page, all the things and all the stuff, if you could help us out. And last but not least, long live the Republic. My name is Trip. Becca's the producer, keeping everything copacetic. We will see you guys in the not so distant future. Take care, stay safe, and remember, it's all in a day's work. Bye, everybody.